Hey everyone, welcome to the Southside Beat here on DK Pittsburgh Sports, brought to you by FanDuel. Chris Halicke, Matt Williamson, talking Steelers. Matt, it has been a couple of weeks since we talked, and since the last time we talked, this team has taken a nosedive off of a cliff. What has happened since the last time we talked? They were 4-1 heading into a short week with the Bengals, and now they're 4-3, and the sky's falling.
It's amazing with this sport, and it's fun, but it's also kind of annoying that two bad games by one side of the ball, and all of a sudden the entire perception of the entire organization, not even the season, everything totally shot. Baltimore wins 2 games in the meantime, and now you got no chance in the division, and nothing can ever get better. But I understand it, because on the defensive side of the ball in particular, these were 2 miserable performances, especially first half against the Green Bay I can live with. But I mean, other than that, I mean, the collapse that happened in that game, and really 90% of the Bengals game.
Yeah. I would agree. If you can get the defense that you got in that first half of that Packers game, you would take it
against a good team.
10 times out of 10. But yeah, for 6 quarters, 6 of the last 8 quarters, this defense has been, and the stuff, I don't know what you've observed, but from watching the film on this, they're asking the players to do things that are
almost impossible,
way too difficult to do. I mean, the margin for error is minuscule.
Right. It makes very little sense to me, a lot of the decisions they're making.
Yeah. And so I guess the question is, how is this fixable? How is this fixed? Like, how can the Steelers, my solution that I brought up on Double Shot of Steelers yesterday was just simplify things. I mean, if you have to go back to playing spot drop cover 3 most of the time, then I hate it, but you weren't getting beaten like this, where you were just getting eviscerated when they were 8th in the league in scoring last year playing that way. I mean, is that a solution to just simplify everything? What are the solutions? What are the fixes that the Steelers can actually do? Don't say fire Mike Tomlin, guys. Right. Don't say fire Carolina. Like, I'm talking about actual solutions that this team can implement to try to stop the bleeding. What's the tourniquet here?
Well, not to put words in your mouth, but I mean, that was, I can't believe that the communication problems are this grave, to be honest with you. Like, Tucker Kraft goes from in line on the left side, trots across to the right side, and 3 different defenders don't know how to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? I mean, like, simple stuff should not confuse you pre-snap. And I'm not saying they're dumb. I don't know how they're coached. I just know that they are unsure of themselves, and they're not the fastest secondary to begin with, and they're playing slower because they don't seem to know their assignments. And I don't think it's you compare it to other defensive coordinators and schemes, they're still pretty execution-based compared to most teams. They're not throwing a million things at you that no one's ever seen before. This isn't a Flores defense or the one they're about to face. But they're putting their positions, their players, Jalen Ramsey in particular, in crazy positions to try to make plays that he wouldn't have made in his prime, or Revis or Dion wouldn't have made. And he's not alone. But I'm kind of with you that whatever it takes, to me, I still trust the pass rush. So let's look at like the positives. Like, let's look at what can we do well. If I can make the quarterback hold the football for 0.3 to 0.5 seconds longer, let's start there. And maybe that is just basic zone stuff and tackle the catch. And okay, I mean, I know what I'm doing is not working at all. And it's not one person's fault. It's almost everyone's fault. But let's get back to whatever it is that I can do to make the quarterback hold the football a little bit longer.
Yeah, and I understand, and I kind of like this from Cody, less blitzing and running the ball. I think we were going through a stretch here, and I think it even happened after the Bengals game, where fans were still, they need to blitz, and they need to play press man, and that's the reason why they're playing terrible defense. First off, they're blitzing at the 3rd highest rate in the league.
Often with 6 guys.
Right. It's not like, you're right. It's not just a 5-man rush, which that means, so
So there's voids in the coverage.
Right. They're
Right.
leaving everybody, literally everybody, on an island.
Yeah.
And it's not working. There's no hole defender in the middle of the field. Like when
the middle field, just
when they're playing
wasteland.
Yeah, when they're playing cover one, there are a number of different ways you can play cover one. You can play man free, which it's literally one defender over the top you're the deep. Nobody gets behind you unless you're Juan Thornhill and you let Christian Watson get behind you. And yeah.
Another issue altogether.
Yeah. But nobody gets behind you when you're that deep safety. It's man coverage across the board. Every eligible is covered. And if an eligible goes out, whoever's on him sticks with him. And then everybody else is blitzing. And if there's an eligible, like a tight end or a running back that stays in for pass protection, then you also blitz. Like whoever was responsible. Yeah. That's the way the Steelers are playing. Instead of let's just drop one guy back. Instead of blitzing 6, let's blitz 5 and back one guy off to be our hole defender in the middle of the field. Thief, you could play too high and then bring the one down to play robber, whatever you want to do.
Tons of ways you can do with it. Right.
There's nobody in the middle of the field. And I'm not saying that because there are a number of ways to play cover one, but if you're going to play that style and you keep getting beat over and over and over again on these in breakers, and meanwhile, the corners and the safeties are playing outside leverage on these eligibles with no hole defender in the middle of the field as their help. Like, what are we doing?
Slant. I mean, right, yeah. Or crossers. Or there's a play against the Bengals where they're playing man in this situation you're talking about, but Ramsey's probably 12 yards off Chase at the snap.
Mm-hmm.
And Chase just runs a full speed crossing route, and Ramsey's got like double the real estate to get to the catch point.
Yeah.
I mean, even if that's not Jamar Chase, it's a terrible idea, let alone if it's that guy.
Yeah. And then I think about like disguising for disguising's sake. Like there was one play, it was near the end of the game. The game is pretty much over at this point, but it was a quick out to Romeo Doubs, and the Juan Thornhill is the single high safety, and he has to sprint down. They're playing cover 3. He has to sprint down from being that deep middle third safety to get to the curl flat while Chuck Clark is up on the line of scrimmage, and he has to then sprint from the line of scrimmage to be the deep middle third in cover 3. Like, what are we doing?
What are we gaining here? Yeah.
And
what's the payoff?
Right, exactly. What's the payoff? Because you made Jordan Love hold on to the ball for an extra 0.1 seconds while it's still cover 3. And he knows where the weaknesses are in cover 3, especially when there's no curl flat defender there because Juan Thornhill is trying to run to get over there.
And there's no way Clark's getting there.
No.
I mean, Troy, maybe, right.
So, and so that also lets you know that some people think, oh, the defense is too simple or it's too predictable. No, this is actually not predictable stuff. It's just, dare I say,
not very logical,
stupid stuff.
Right. Yeah.
It's disguising for disguising's sake. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of issues with the defense. You
kind of implied this, but I know you well enough that I think the offseason plan was, hey, we got so many good corners, we can do that. So mm-hmm. I think they misevaluated Slay and
very much.
Frank, I still think Ramsey's a really good player, but
yes,
the last 3 teams did not ask him to be Dion on the outside against Jerry Rice either for a reason. Don't ask him to do stuff he doesn't do well anymore.
I think that when they got Ramsey, I honestly, while I did think that they were going to play a little bit more man coverage.
Yeah. I thought it would be more blitz, more man.
I still thought that they would try to utilize Ramsey like the 21 Rams did.
I thought he was Beanie Bishop's replacement.
That's what I thought. I thought that he was going to be pretty much the way the Rams used him in 21. A little bit of tweaks here and there because he's not that guy anymore. Mm-hmm. But he's still he's probably 85 to 90% of that guy, which is still a really good football player.
Very useful.
Yes, absolutely. But that's not how they're using him. They really are just asking him to be like, hey, Jamar Chase is there. Go cover him.
It almost seems like ego. And you probably remember better than me, but there was some Tomlin press conference or a scrum or whatever, at camp where they were talking about, well, who's going to get Chase? And, everyone's acting tough at camp. And Of course, it's Ramsey. He's
Ramsey
our
said
best
it
guy,
too.
right? Like,
Ramsey
you
did
almost
it too,
just,
yeah.
you just set them up for failure. Like that. No, hardly anyone does that in the league anymore. For one thing.
Well, and the Bigler says Slay played zone in Philly. He didn't just necessarily play zone because like no team just runs nothing but zone.
Right.
But there are also zone coverages that come with man principles, such as like match quarters and stuff.
Yeah.
The Eagles use that stuff, which then means that like if you're the corner, like in match quarters, if you're the corner and you have the number one, and if that number one receiver eligible runs in your direction, you latch onto him as if it's man coverage.
Turn into man, yeah.
Right. So it becomes man. Slay can do that stuff and read and react that way. You're not asking him to go up and play press man against Andre Iosivas.
He can't do that anymore.
To run with him. You cannot, he can't do that. He couldn't do that.
And his zone's better than his man, period.
Right. But even whenever he was playing man last year with the Eagles, his numbers, like his data was very, very good. But it's Philly knew how to utilize.
Mm-hmm.
They knew who Darius Slay was as a 33-year-old.
Right.
And they accentuated his strengths, which were his smarts, his reaction time, his ability to read the play.
Yeah.
And then he can
find the ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
His read and react was very, very good. That's not what the Steelers are asking him to do. The Steelers are asking him to press Andre Iosivas and run with him if need be, and he's getting burned.
Without any help.
Right. And then
you don't even help the guy.
And then whenever you are in that, like, yeah, it's frustrating. Anyway,
it's mind-boggling. Yeah.
Let's take a break and we'll come back. We'll try to figure out some more solutions to the problems here, because coming up on Sunday,
it only gets worse.
It gets a lot worse because they face the number one offense in the league that's putting up literally historical numbers right now. So let's take a break. Let's take a breather, 30 seconds, and we'll come back right after this to try to figure out how the Steelers could possibly win this game.
At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects.
Hey guys, football season is in full swing, so it's time to check out the latest odds, futures, and win totals on the FanDuel Sportsbook. So if you think the Steelers are going to cover a 3.5-point spread on Sunday, which is pretty tight considering the way the Colts are pointing and the way the Steelers are pointing, then you better lock in your bet today, because of whatever your game, the FanDuel Sportsbook delivers the latest lines, futures, and specials so you can join in on all the action. Matt, the Colts come to town.
Woo.
Shane Steichen has that offense humming in a big way. They are, hold on a second. Let me actually pull this up. I have my Colts breakdown that'll be coming out not long after this show is over. And I've got, for the offense and the defense, I always rattle off all the numbers and everything. Mm-hmm. And let me pull this up just real fast. The offense ranks first in total yards per game.
Oh, yeah.
6th in passing yards per game, 6th in rushing yards per game, 1st in points per game, 1st in yards per play. They are tied for 3rd for the fewest turnovers in the league. They're 1st in EPA per play, 3rd in EPA per drop back, 1st in EPA per rush, 4th in third down efficiency, 8th in red zone touch and red zone efficiency. And if that's not enough for you, hold on. If that's not enough for you, I thought I had. Oh yeah, their 6.5 yards per play would be 14th best in NFL history if they continue that. Like 14th best in league history, and they're scoring on 60.8% of their drives, which has never been done before.
Yeah,
like if they stay on that pace, never been done before.
And I think they have the coach of the year. I think they have the offensive player of the year, and the coach is an offensive mind. what Daniel Jones, I do not expect him to turn into a pumpkin. I expect him to sign a $55 to $60 million contract after the season, much like Baker and Darnold getting rejuvenated from early picks. They have a top 3 offensive line. They have weapons everywhere. They might have the rookie of the year. Like, I don't see any weaknesses to their offense.
No.
And frankly, some of their numbers could be better, but they're winning by 20 in the fourth quarter, and Jonathan Taylor's on the sidelines.
Yeah. Which is funny because he still leads the league in carries.
Right.
But he also leads the league with like 850 yards and 12 rushing touchdowns. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
The first thing that actually jumps out to me that jumped out to me even before the season started was I thought maybe the Steelers win this game, maybe. And the big reason I thought maybe, because I didn't think that highly of the Colts going into the season.
No, it looked like, boy, they don't have a quarterback,
But Shane Steichen has Mike Tomlin's number.
Going back to their history, yeah.
He was offensive coordinator for the Eagles in 2022. And that Eagles team that week, that game, just absolutely just pants the Steelers.
Did anything they wanted.
Anything. That was the AJ. I think some people will remember that was the AJ Brown game, but it was Jalen Hurts. It was AJ Brown. It was Devontae Smith. It was everybody. The Eagles just unloaded.
And the Steelers didn't have bad defensive players.
No.
I mean, it was Steichen beating Tomlin.
And 2023, with Gardner Minshew at quarterback, the Colts put up, I think, 30 points. Last year, with Anthony Richardson leaving with an injury and Joe Flacco coming in, the Colts put up 27 points and just decimate the Steelers' defense. 3 games, Shane Steichen's 3-0, and those offenses have turned the ball over 0 times.
And that's with Minshew and losing your starting quarterback in 2 of the 3 3 games.
Yep.
Yeah, the quarterback you chose to play, you lost.
Yep.
Yep. I'm not real optimistic.
I'm not either.
I'm really not. I mean, I picked the Steelers to win every game this year, and I just don't see a path on that side of the ball.
I don't either. I really, really hate to be like Debbie Downer. Like I could just sit here and get my best Rachel Dratch impression and cue the Debbie Downer music. But man, it's what do you do against this offense? Like seriously, because the Steelers have to have a game plan of some kind. What do you do?
Course, right.
Against, because it's if it's not Jonathan Taylor, it's Tyler Warren being as much of a beast as he was at Penn State last year. I mean,
right.
what do you do?
Right. I think you'd, like we talked about, probably just be very predictable with your zone drops, tackle the catch, do anything you possibly can to, get Jones to hold the football a little bit longer. Hope for splash. I mean, what's obvious is when the Steelers defense doesn't get splashed, they don't win football games.
Very true. They have not. They don't have a takeaway since Dublin.
Right. I mean, it's a fact, basically.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm sure a lot of our smart listeners know this, that these troubles didn't start against the Bengals either. Just on a down-by-down basis, a success rate. Getting off the field, plays per drive. This defense has been pretty bad since day one.
Yeah.
Mask it with splash, which there's an art to splash. And I think this team is as good as any at creating splash. They're the best forced fumble defense I've ever seen. They're phenomenal at batting passes out the line of scrimmage. I still believe Watt, Highsmith, Hayward, Herbig, if he ever sees the field, are great rushing the passer. Splash, they're a little unlucky right now in the splash department,
A little unlucky, but also
people know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think that's the other part of it is that like the Packers, Jordan Love didn't put the ball in trouble. I don't think at all. And if he did, it was like one time.
He was great.
Now I do want to, I should put it this way. The Steelers defense was terrible last Sunday.
Terrible.
I mean, they were terrible.
Right.
But Jordan Love also made some very, very good plays. Like he had one where he escaped to his left just to get to a check down. And that play Like it produced because the Steelers missed tackles. But just for Jordan Love to get there, like if that's
most quarterbacks,
15 to 20 other quarterbacks at the sack, like Jordan Love made a great play. He had another play where he threw with probably the best like representation of what I would call anticipation, like that I've seen almost all season, where the ball was like he was beginning his throwing motion. The receiver was running a deep out, and the receiver was still 7 yards from his break.
Yeah.
And the ball, the throwing motion was already starting.
It's like uncoverable stuff.
Seriously. And Joey Porter Jr. had good coverage on that play.
Doesn't matter.
Some questionable leverage being played because he had a safety help on the inside and he was playing inside leverage. So it's like you'd probably rather play outside leverage since your help is on the inside. But either way, he still stuck with the receiver and he was still right there, but it was thrown with such anticipation and perfectly placed. Like, so Jordan Love played very, very well on top of the Steelers playing terribly. You have
I want to throw one thing in, Chris.
Yeah.
Now he also got a little lucky, like the Kraft play where Elliott got hurt that I thought was the most game changing play of the day.
Two throws that were
yeah. I mean, but that happens. They made a play, you didn't, etc. But I bet some of our listeners are going, so just like the playoffs the last 5-6 years, every time you face a really good quarterback, you lose. I mean, like that doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was great. I mean, I love to give no one around here. You're one of the few that ever give the opponent any credit on Monday. I mean, like you got to do that.
Yeah.
It's
not just the Steelers.
Right?
Yeah. It's not just that. Like sometimes you just like, I remember watching that Colts game last year, for example, like being in Indianapolis covering that game. And I'm like, man, Steichen is just cutting them to pieces.
Yeah.
Like it was, and then going back and rewatching the game, watching the film, I'm like, it was surgical. He kept picking at the same windows in cover 3 all day long.
Pick at the same scab.
I mean, my gosh, it was surgical. Like he knew exactly what they were going to do. And that's just an offensive coach being a really good coach, like having a really sound game plan, details perfect, having a quarterback who can execute it. Perfectly done.
But my point is, you run into that in the playoffs every year, and that's
exactly
that's why you get blown out in round 1.
Yeah. I think there are 2 ways you beat the Colts. Number 1, I think you do have to create splash somehow, whether it be sack fumbles, you get hands up, you bat passes down, or bat passes up in the air, they get intercepted. Daniel Jones is being very, very careful with the football this year. So I mean, all the credit to him for not turning the ball over. He has 3 picks so far. So he's done a great job of protecting the football, not putting it in harm's way, while also not just being this check down king. Like he's throwing the ball downfield.
Oh yeah. He's not Alex Smith. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. This is not Alex Smith and Andy Reid's offense. Right.
No.
But I think the other part of this is
without the splash, you're not going to win.
No, you have to have splash.
Right.
And second, the offense has got to sustain drives. I have almost no complaints. I have almost no complaints about the offense. I'm happy with the quarterback play. I'm happy with what the running backs are doing. The offensive line is trending in the right direction. The tight ends have been great in terms of how they're being used collectively, whether it's Pat Freiermuth, Johnny Smith occasionally, or it's Darnell Washington blocking, or occasionally going out for a pass, or it's Connor Hayward sprinkling in with what he does. Like the tight ends are being used well. The jumbo package is being utilized well. The red zone, there's 3rd in the league in red zone efficiency. Like the offense is playing great in a lot of ways. They're tied for 11th. They're tied with Sean McVay's Rams in scoring. Like if this offense is in the same stratosphere as Sean McVay, I'm happy.
Oh yeah.
But
you're in the right neighborhood, right?
Sustaining drives is like the next step from being this offense that's right outside the top 10 in scoring to definitely being a top 10 offense, like maybe even borderline top 5.
See, I think you nailed it. To me, that's the biggest 2 keys, but you need to play complementary football. Yes. The offense needs to win the time possession battle in a big way. Therefore, Tomlin might have to go for it on 4th a little more. You can't be settling for field goals. I mean, we can go down that road, and I think we all agree. But this is my favorite number. Everyone knows I do my match stats and all that stuff. I mean, this is the favorite thing I dug up previewing this game. And I think it speaks volumes. And it might even shock people. So Steelers points allowed by quarter. In the first quarter, they give up 3.7 points. That's 12th best.
Mhm.
Okay, that's pretty good. Second quarter, they give up 5.7 points per quarter. That's 10th best. Even better. That's above average.
Mm-hmm.
In the third quarter, they give up 3.9 points. That's 8th best. Guess where I'm going in the fourth quarter?
I know where you're going. I already know. I've gotten questions about this on our site.
11.7, a distant 32nd. 11.7. Every other team in the league's under 11, and 28 are under 10. So 47% of their points allowed come in the fourth quarter. Well, why is that? They're on the field too much. They're old. They get beat up. They're not 60-minute guys. They're not 65-minute guys. And they get figured out. I mean, if not before the fourth quarter, the dam blows apart in the fourth quarter.
It's definitely common, the questions that I got based off of this, because as soon as you brought this up, of course, everybody's enamored with this, and it's an eye-popping stat.
It is
for sure. But then the question here is this a symptom of an aging defense? I think when the situation is that bad, it's not just one thing.
No.
It is not just
the whole team.
Yeah, it's stamina, it's age, it's schematics, it's execution.
I don't think Tomlin needs them running the stadium steps. Like, they're not in shape,
But I think it's also. But
right.
I think okay. But
You're wearing out.
But for example, we're talking now 2 weeks in a row of TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith snaps being up here, and Nick Herbig snaps being down here. Are they playing TJ too much?
Well, I think these numbers indicate you better spread the wealth.
That's what I'm saying. I understand, if you feel like things are going poorly in a certain direction, whether you're not stopping the run well enough, like it was against the Bengals, or whatever the case may be, I'm just going to keep putting my best players out there. Well, the problem is with TJ Watt, and it's been proven in years past, TJ plays at his best when he plays less.
Yeah.
You get more per snap out of him than with him. It really is less is more. And that sounds backwards. You're like, he's the best player to be on the field all the time. No, that's just not the way it works. You don't want TJ. I think if TJ Watt were to play 75 to 80% of the snaps every week, you would be amazed to see the difference.
And Herbig usage is coaching malpractice. I'm not sure anything bothers me more.
Oh, no, seriously.
Yeah.
I was pretty bothered by abandoning running the football and then them gaslighting us.
That was the two things. Warren 3 second half carries and use of Herbig were the ones I was like, I don't know how to defend this at all.
But okay, so we were gaslighted into thinking that it was because of penalties or whatever. No. First down on the first play, you do play action. It's incomplete because nobody gets open, so Rodgers has to throw it away.
They kicked off to you.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, okay, yeah. You go play action on first down. You don't complete it. Okay, that's fine. But then on second down, you do a pass to the flat to Pat Freiermuth with no blocker out in front, and it gets 2 yards. So now you're in third and 8. Now you have to throw, and you don't get the call from the ref on the obvious offside, and then you punt. Okay, fine. Second series, you run the ball the first time, you get 4 yards. You're on schedule. 2nd and 6. That opens things up. Very next play, you throw it over the middle to DK, 24 yards. That's what the run game does. It keeps you on schedule. It keeps the entire playbook able to be used, and they got a field goal out of that drive. You like a touchdown, but hey, they got points. You'll take it.
And your defense is drinking Gatorade.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Third series, first play. Aaron Rodgers drops back to pass, 10 yards lost on the sack. Now you have to throw on second and third down just to try to move the chains again.
Yeah.
That's not.
And you ran the ball really well in the first half.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's not because of penalties. You went 3 and out on 2 series, and because you just did not run the football after Jaylen Warren carried the ball 10 times for 50 yards against the number 2 ranked rush defense in the league.
Right. And you had a lead. You were winning this game when the fourth quarter started, believe it or not.
No, yeah. That's the other part of it.
Yeah.
They were outscored 28-9 in the second half.
Yeah. And they were actually winning time of possession at halftime by a noticeable margin.
No, seriously, they had over 17 minutes of time of possession in the first half.
Yeah, that formula is winning. I mean, that first half is a winning formula.
If that team, I'll say, if that team can play the way it did in the first half against the Packers, and do that against any team in the league, the Colts, the Browns, the Bengals, the Bills, the Lions, I don't care. You have a chance to win. And you'll have a legitimate chance to win.
And there's a real less likely chance, back to my numbers, that you just don't give up 8 million points in the fourth quarter then.
Exactly. Justin, big fan of Justin. He says, Chris and Mr. Williamson, best Steelers X and O talk by far. Appreciate it. Thank you, Justin. Really appreciate the love. We actually need to run. Everybody's got Halloween plans. I've got Halloween plans. Yeah. Matt's got Halloween plans. We've all got Halloween plans. My wife she actually walked in the room in the middle of the show. She is in her full-blown Elphaba costume, green paint, everything.
Okay.
My
wife was walking on the other side of the laptop trying to be quiet and isn't dressed yet, but is setting up the tent and all the stuff in the driveway. So
it's gonna be fun. Yeah. We got the driveway set up. My daughter's Elphaba. I am literally Steve from Minecraft.
Okay.
And my son is a chicken jockey from the Minecraft movie.
Nice. I think I'm going to be a Steeler analyst, but I mean, we'll go from there.
When we were talking about it yesterday, Dolly, the big boss at DK, said, "Don't go as a sports reporter." I'm like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to go as a sports reporter." Like that's like a dentist going to Halloween as an orthodontist or whatever. It's like, come on. All right, well,
happy Halloween, everyone. Yeah,
thank you guys so much for tuning in. Try to enjoy the game. At the end of the day, it's still football. It's entertainment. It's fun. I'm going to have a good time at the stadium, even if the team plays terribly. So try to enjoy the game. It is a game after all. So until next time, we'll catch you guys next week. Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll see you later.